So, hello po. So, our topic for today is brakes and clutches. So, what is brake and clutch? Brake is a machine element for application friction to moving surface to slow it down or bring it to rest. So, brakes used typically in manufacturing and in automotive. It uses brake pads to slow or to stop a mechanism. So the clutch is a machine element for connection and disconnection of shaft. So which means clutch is disengaging and engaging shaft to a machine. So next, types of brakes. Types of brakes. We have first mechanical brakes, including band brake, differential brake, block brake, brake shoe, disc brake, spot brake, and then hydrodynamic brake, and lastly is electric brake. So what is band brake? So band brake use a flexible band to a rotating drum to slow or to stop motion. And next is differential brakes. This brake allows to control of left and right brakes usually used in aircrafts. Next is block brake. These brake types of friction brake that use brake shoe. And next is disc brakes. Disc brakes, from the word disc brakes, it use a disc to stop the motion and um, the machines. Yan. Then next is hydrodynamic brake. This brake use the resistance of fluid to slow down the machines. So it use a fluid to stop the machines. Then next is electric brake. It is use electrical current or a magnetic force to slow down and to stop. What is the advantage and disadvantage of using brakes? So in advantage, simple in construction and maintenance, less expensive compared to hydraulic brake. They good for emergency and parking brakes. Disadvantage, wear and tear, heat buildup, and maintenance costs. So the advantage of this is, of course, to stop the the machines and or slow down. And this is safety feature also if there's a accident or malfunction of a machine. Then the disadvantage is wear and tear. This machine element have a friction. That's why there's a friction in a brakes. That's why there's wear and tear. So through time, the brake pads will beat up, so that's need a replacement. So next is maintenance cost. Every brake had a maintenance to ensure the safety and to ensure also the it will work in case of emergency. Types of clutches. So first we have friction clutch containing disc clutch, cone clutch, band clutch, block clutch, centrifugal clutch, and expanding ring clutch. Then next is jaw clutch, hydraulic clutch, and electromagnetic clutch. First, this clutch and cone clutch, band clutch, block clutch, and centrifugal clutch use a friction to transmit or translate movement at a wheel. So usually it depends on what component it is. For example, in this clutch, it uses disc, and in a cone, it use conical shape clutches. Then in block clutch, it use interlocking blocks to transmit torque in a shaft. Then the band clutch use flexible band to transmit the torque in a shaft. Then next is centrifugal clutch. This clutch uh, say mechanical device used is on a driven rotary equipment. So usually it a used in a combustions engine. So sometimes it use centrifugal clutch. So next is jaw clutch. Jaw clutch is it's used jaw just like in a friction clutch, but this jaw clutch allows for direct transfer of torque to a shaft. Then next is hydraulic clutch. So hydraulic clutch use hydraulic fluid to transfer the force. So typically when we use the pedal of clutch, for example, the clutch in a car, we use hydraulic clutch. If we press the pedal of hydraulic clutch, the fluid transfer to the clutch. That's why it called hydraulic clutch. It use hydraulic fluid to function. Then next is electromagnetic clutch. So electromagnetic clutch use electric current or electromagnetic to function. So yeah, that's electromagnetic clutch. What is advantage and disadvantage? So for the advantage, precise control over acceleration and power, better fuel efficiency compared to automatic transmission, lower maintenance costs due to simpler mechanism. Then the disadvantage is requires practice to operate smoothly, can be tiring in heavy traffic, prone to wear if not used properly. So using clutch had advantage of precise control over acceleration. So using clutches, we can maximize the power of a machine. And if in proper uses of clutch, we can lower the maintenance cost and fuel efficiency compared to the automatic transmission. Then the disadvantage is requires practice to operate smoothly because using manual gear, it's a hard. You need a proper balance of clutch and gas to accelerate smoothly the car. Then can tiring in heavy traffic because using a manual transmission, usually we always use our left 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 foot to press the pedal in entire traffic. So it is tiring of using manual transmission. Then next is prone to wear if not used properly. So sometimes when we use manual clutches or a manual transmission, clutch typically wear prone to wear because if we don't know how to use clutch properly, it will break easily or we need to replace if the clutch will be it will not will be used properly. Formula of clutch in plate or disc clutch. First is total torque in pressure disc. First is torque equals to number of pairs multiplied to coefficient of friction multiplied to applied force, and last is multiplied to frictional radius. Then next is torque equals to number of pairs multiply to coefficient of friction multiply to applied force, then multiply to 2 over 3 times radius, outside radius raised to 3 minus inside radius raised to 3 over outside radius raised to 2 minus inside radius raised to 2. Then next is total applied force. Force equals to pi multiplied to pressure times outside radius minus inside radius squared. Then next is total torque in wear disc. So torque equals to number of pairs multiplied to coefficient of friction times P max times outside radius raised to 2 minus inside radius squared times inside radius. Then next is total applied force. F, which is force, equals to pi times P max times outside radius minus inside radius squared. Then next is clutch, cone clutch. So first is torque transmitted. Torque equals to FA or axial force times coefficient friction times in friction radius over sine theta. Next is axial force. FA equals to normal force times sine theta. So next is band clutch. So band clutch, first is torque transmitted. So T equals to F1 minus F2 times D over 2. The D is the drum diameter and F is force. The next is maximum normal pressure. P max equals to F1 over band width times radius. Then next is maximum stress. So maximum stress is S max equals to force over band width times band thickness. So next, centrifugal clutch. So first, torque transmitted. Torque equals to 2 times number of identical weights times radius of friction times coefficient of friction times W, which is weight of each inertia, times radial distance or length times RPM raised to 2 over 70,400 minus radial spring. Next is radial spring force on each inertial weight. So for radial spring, sorry, so S equals to W, which is yung weight, and L, which is the distance, times RPM raised to 2 over 70,400 cosine times pi over 4 minus pi over n. So next is problem solving. So first is brake. will be discussed by John Matthew de la Cruz.
We are here to solve problem of clutch, clutch and brakes. Person's brakes. Problem number one. A car is traveling 120 kph. It takes 0.5 seconds to apply the brake after which it decelerates at 8 meter per second squared. Compute the distance it traveled in meters before it stopped. Uh, Initial speed equals 120 kph. We convert it to meter per seconds because we're looking for meters. 120 kph times 1 over 3.6 equals 33.33 meter per seconds. Final speed equals to 0 because the car is stopped and we use final speed equals initial speed squared plus 2 acceleration times distance it traveled. Substitute the given. 0 equals 33.33 squared plus 2 times negative 8 times distance traveled. And the answer is 69.4. Next one is problem number 2. A car is moving at 60 mph when the brakes are suddenly locked and the car begins to skid. If it takes 2 seconds to slow the car to 30 mph, how far will it have traveled in coming to stop? Initial speed equals to 60 mph. We convert it to feet per second, which is 88 feet per second. And the final speed equals 30 mph equals 44 feet per second. Acceleration equals final speed minus initial speed over time. Equals 44 minus 88 over 2 equals negative 22 feet per second. Again, we use initial speed ay final speed equals initial speed squared plus 2 times acceleration times distance traveled. Substitute the given. 0 equals 88 squared plus 2 times negative 22 times distance traveled is equals 176 feet. Problem number 3. A simple band brake has a 76 cm drum and fitted with a steel band 2/5 cm thick lined with a brake lining having a coefficient of friction of 0.25. The arc of contact is 245 degree and the drum is attached to a 60 cm hoisting drum that sustain a rope load of 820 kilogram. The operating force has a moment arm of 1.50 meters and a band is attached 12 cm from the pivot point. Compute the torque just required to support the load clockwise. We use T equals W times D over 2. T equals 820 times 9.81 times 0.60 over 2. And the torque is 2413.26. And next one, problem number 4. A simple band brake has a 76 cm drum and fitted with a steel band 2/5 cm thick, lined with a brake lining having a coefficient of friction of 0.25. The arc of contact is 2245 degree and the drum is attached to a 60 cm hoisting drum that sustains a rope load of 820 kilogram. The operating of force has a moment arm of 1.50 meters and a band is attached 12 cm from the pivot point. Compute the force required considering the direction of rotating is reverse. We have same given to problem number 3, but we're looking for force required. Moment 1.5 times F equals 0.12 times F1. F equals to 0.08 F1 and T equals F1 minus F2 times D over 2. For equation 1, F1 minus F2 equals 2 times 2.41 over 0.76 equals 6.34 kilonewton. F1 over F2 equals to E point raised to 0.25 times 245 times 2 pi over 360. And for equation 2, F2 equals F1 over 2.912 and substitute the F2 in equation 1. F1 minus F1 over 2.912 equals 6.34. F1 is equals to 9.656 kilonewton. And for the force, in the same problem, 0.08 F1 is equals to force required. Substitute it 0.08 F1 equals to 0.08 times 9.656 equals 0.772 kilonewton or 772 Newton. And the next one, problem number 5. A simple band brake has a 760 mm drum and fitted with a steel band 250 cm thick line with a brake lining having a coefficient of friction of 0.25. The arc of contact is 245 degree and the drum is attached to a 600 mm hoisting drum that sustain a rope load of 820 kilogram. The operating force has a moment arm of 1.50 meters and a band is attached 120 mm from the pivot point. Compute the width of a steel band for a tensile stress of 55 MPa. The solution is stress equals to F1 over Bt. B equals to 9.656 times 10 raised to 3 over 55 times 4. The width of steel band is equals to 43.89 mm. We follow the problem of clutch. Problem number 1. A disc clutch has a 6 pairs of contacting friction surface. An axial force of 100 pounds act on the clutch. The shaft speed is 400 RPM. How much horsepower can the clutch transmit if the frictional radius is 2 inch and the coefficient of friction is 0.30? We solve for torque equals to F times F times R times N. 0.30 times 100 times 2 times 6. The torque is 360 inch pound. And we solve we solve for horsepower. Power equal to pi Tn. And we divide it to 33,000 to convert in horsepower. Power is equal to 2 pi times 360 over 12 times 400 over 33,000. The power is 2.28 horsepower. Problem number 2. A truck develops 33.5 HP at 100 RPM, 1000 rather. The clutch used to transmit the aforementioned power is a single plate clutch which 2 pairs of contact surfaces if the coefficient of friction is to be 0.40 and the mean diameter of the disc is to be 190 mm. And the average normal stress on the clutch lining is 120 kPa. Compute the inside diameter. So P equals 60 times P over 2 pi equals F times FA times RF times N. Equals to zero point 0.4. RF equals to dm over 2 equals 0.190 over 2 equals 0.095. N equals 2. And substitute the given 60 times 33.5 HP times 0.746 kilowatts per 1 HP over 2 pi equals zero point 0.4 times FA times 0.095 times 2 equals 3.14 kilonewton. Problem number 3. A cone clutch has an angle of 10 degrees and the coefficient of friction of 0.42. Compute the axial force required if the capacity of the clutch is 7 kilowatts at 500 RPM. Note, the mean diameter of the active conical section is 300 mm. Solution. Power equals to 2 pi Tn over 60. Torque is equals to 60 times 7 times 10 raised to 3 over 2 pi times 500. Torque is equals to 133.69 Newton Newton meter. And solving for axial force required is equals torque equals F times F over sine theta times R plus R over 2. 133.69 Newton meter equals to 0.42 times F, which is the axial force, over sine 10 times 0.30 meters over 2 equals 368.5 Newton. This is the final answer for problem number 4. How much torque can a cone torque transmit if the angle of conical element is 10 degrees? The mean diameter of the conical clutch section is 200 mm and an axial force of 550 Newton is applied. Note, the coefficient of friction between the clutch elements is 0.45. Solution. We use torque equals coefficient of friction times force over sine theta times R plus R over 2 means the radius, and Rm equals to dm over 2 equals 0.20 over 2 equals 0.10 meters. Torque is equals to 0.45 times 550 Newton over sine 10 times 10 meters equals 142.53 Newton meter. This is the final answer. Problem number 5. An engine developing 40 HP at 1250 RPM is fitted with a cone clutch built into the flywheel. The cone has a phase angle of 12.5 degrees and a maximum diameter of 14 inches. The coefficient of friction is zero point 0.2. The normal pressure on the clutch phase is not to exceed 12 psi. Determine the phase width required. Solution. We use torque equals 2 pi p and rm p sub m r sub m squared w. Rm equals to r plus r over 2 equals r plus r minus w sine 12.5 over 2 equals r minus 0.1082 w. 2015 equals 2 pi times 0.2 times 12 times 7 minus 0.1082 w squared times w. The phase width is equals to 3 inches. Thank you. That's all. Thank you.